Okay, so let's go. Lesson number one, both sides, business opportunity scanning and identification intelligence. Yeah, intelligence is your ability to learn and apply knowledge. That's intelligence. And we are saying when it comes to business opportunity scanning and identification, there is an intelligence that follows that. Your ability to understand what follows will help you to do so well in everything you are doing. Now, the only major way God blesses anybody is through ideas in the person's mind or in other people's mind. The only major way God blesses us is through ideas in your mind or ideas in other people's mind. And it's very pertinent that you will understand that all of us, we have our minds. And if we do, we have our brain. And if we do, there's nothing that says we can be successful. Now, let's look at truism number one. Because everyone is blessed with a mind, there is no reason we should not be successful. Because all of us, we have our minds intact, there is no reason we shouldn't be successful. No reason at all we should not be successful because we have our minds intact. So if you've got that, it's very important that you start thinking about it. What am I doing with my mind? What am I known for? How have I changed my world with my mind? Okay? If you can understand that you have this mind to solve people's problem, immediately you can understand that everything will start changing. Truth number one, because every one of us is blessed with a mind, there is no reason we should not be successful. But remember, all our minds are not working at the same entropy, at the same level, at the same bandwidth. So what do you need to do? Retrain your mind. Every day I work on myself. Every day I wake up hungry and foolish. Every day I wake up enthusiastic and very, 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 very optimistic. I wake up enthusiastic and optimistic. Why? Because waking up hungry and foolish helps me to throw away the fact that I'm a university lecturer, throw away the fact that I have a PhD, throw away the fact that I have certifications and degrees, crisscrossing management, faculty of business, faculty of humanities, information and communication technology. I've read in some good schools in the world, including a school founded in 1425. Now, all those help, all waking up hungry and foolish help me to throw that away and be able to be hungry and be able to be foolish to know the things I don't know. Okay? Now, waking up enthusiastic or optimistic makes me to know that entrepreneurs are the people who are going to save this world. Whether you talk about COVID-19, you talk about road, you talk about electricity, you talk about power of any kind, you talk about transportation, you talk about marketing, you talk about production, you talk about business development, you talk, entrepreneurs are the people who are going to change the world. So I woke up enthusiastic that I'm an entrepreneur, and I woke up optimistic that I am going to be one of those who are going to change the world. Okay? So that helps me to actually do so well in everything I touch to do enthusiastically. Now, anytime you lose enthusiasm, you've lost very big thing. Why? Because remember, enthusiasm is very important if you really want to be great. Enthusiasm helps you to conquer obstacles because you will always have obstacles. Enthusiasm helps you to be better because you are always going to know that there's a place forward. Enthusiasm helps you to actually poke more into future, to want to have a ding on your earth, to say, what kind of impact can I make on this world when I am here, when I'm gone? How do they remember me? Enthusiasm helps you to do that. Okay, so let's look at what you are seeing on your screen at the moment. That is truism number two. Truism stands for truth, proven truth. Truism number two, look at all the things around you. Look around you, and you will see that everything you can see is either God's idea or man's idea. So look around you. You're going to see tall buildings. You're going to see cars. You're going to see iPad, iPod. You're going to see iPhone. You're going to see earphone. You're going to see headphone. You're going to see chairs to sit on. You're going to see car. You're going to see your Gucci bag. You're going to see quite a lot around you. When you look at all of this, almost everything you are seeing, apart from maybe the trees and the land and the human beings you see, every other thing was created by man. So God has given us the power to create things. And if you understand that, you are going to be so powerful, because you will understand that the only reason you are here, is to be a co-creator with God. And that is so beautiful to know. If you've got that, let's move on. Now, always remember this question. So which of them is your creation? Look at the room you are in. You're going to see chairs. You're going to see cupboard. You're going to see wardrobe. You're going to see DST on DSTV, or you're going to see Go TV, or you're going to see Star Times, or you're going to see television. You're going to see air conditioner. You're going to see, you're going to see wallpapers. You're going to see the cement, the walls and the cement that was used. You're going to see curtains. You're going to see rails. You're going to see fans. You're going to see radio. You're going to see your laptop, your phone. You're going to see everything. The question is, which one of them is your idea? Which one of them is created by you, or was created by you? Which one of them are you named after? And which one of them will you be remembered for? Immediately you start asking yourself this question, and you mean it, not just joke about it, that's when you start becoming a human being. What's your purpose on earth? God created you to come here and be a human savior. Whenever there are problems in the society that you can solve and you are not solving them, there is some problems with you and you need to work around it, okay? So let's go ahead. So now look at components of business opportunity scanning and identification intelligence, components of both sides. Let's look at them. So component number one, we have business opportunity scanning. In business opportunity scanning, there are beautiful things that you need to understand. Very simple but beautiful things. Just look around you, check around your city, check around your community, your streets, and list out problems and challenges people are passing through, or that you are passing through yourself. Now, I hope by now you have your piece of paper by your side, or you have something to take note with. Just check around your city, check around your community, check around your estate, check around your house. You're going to list out problems and challenges people are passing through, or you are passing through. When you've done that, and I hope you are doing that, take this serious. Then, number two, you expand your search, and search the whole country or the whole continent, and list out the problems and challenges that people are passing through. So look around your environment, look around your country, look around your globe, look around your continent, and list out the problems you see people are passing through. Then check out, what do individuals, organizations, governments, and groups need or want in your city, in your country, in your continent, or in your world. Don't just be a local player. Don't just come to this earth and you think that there is nothing you can do. Don't just be here and you think that you are just brought here to consume. That is wrong. What do individuals, what do organizations, governments, groups, what do associations, religious organizations, what do labor unions and groups and people need or want in your city, in your country, in your continent, in your world? Look around and check them out. Truism number three. Truism number three. Whilst every business is an idea, not every idea is a business. I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it. Wonderful. These are 10 seconds. Whilst every business is an idea, not every idea is a business. What does that mean? Simply put, though you've looked around the environment, you've seen a lot of problems, you've seen a lot of issues that are asking for what? For solution. But we are saying, whilst every business is an idea, not every idea is a business. So there are some ideas you've just got right now that are not business in their present form. So what we are going to do through the next part of the lessons is to actually transmogrify these ideas and transmogrify them, change them into business idea, into a business. Now, while some may not be a business in present form, if you just tweak it a little, it becomes a business. Or while some cannot be business at all, you can actually add other things to it to make it a business. So that's what we're going to look at. Okay? Don't forget, whilst every business is an idea, not every idea is a business. Let's move on. Components of business opportunity scanning and identification intelligence. Number 2, we have business opportunity identification. So remember, you have actually scanned the environment and you've seen all the ideas there. We want to now move over towards identifying these ideas, calling them by their name, finding out who they are, finding out what they are, finding out who needs them. So the first thing, you need to identify the challenges and problems, the needs and the wants that are in high demand. You need to now look at all these things you have scanned, all these ideas you've scanned the environment and found out. Try to identify the challenges and the problems, the needs and the wants that are in high demand. Which ones are in high demand? Number 2, you must identify the challenges and the problems, the needs and the wants that you can supply. Where do you have a gap that you can actually still play? Because some places you may not fit in very well because there's so much high competition. You may not have the money, you may not have the capacity to actually come to this place and get market share from that market and sector. How do you know that that you can supply that problem? You can supply the solution to the problem. How you know that is by looking at the number of people who want it, who are demanding for it, and the number of people who are already supplying it. And looking at how they are supplying it, whether the product or the process of supplying it, if there is a gap. There may not be a gap in the product supply, but there's a gap in the process of the supply. In other words, a lot of people are supplying offline. Now, nobody is doing it, or so many little people, rather, a lot of people are not doing it online. So you can now decide that your process of delivery will be what? Online. And that's a way to actually zero in into whether there is a gap in the supply that you can actually leverage. Now, remember what we are doing in this course, idea generation and business opportunity mapping. We are trying to be very, very commonsensical because we want to give you facts you can use. We want to give you facts you can go ahead right now and start using immediately. We don't want to give you theories and principles that you need to go and start working on that you may not be able to finish in the next 1 year. But we want you something, we want to give you something you can start working on right now. As we're talking, as we're teaching, you're going to say, wow, I can see that already. And then you start writing it down, going with that idea. Remember, all the things, all the blessings you've ever got on earth were as a result of ideas in your mind or ideas in people's mind. When God wants to bless you, he releases ideas to you. So identify the challenges and the problems, the needs and the wants that you can supply. Identify the challenges and the problems, the needs and the wants that you can supply qualitatively. In other words, there are some things in the market, there are some items in the market that could be improved on, whether in the process or inside the product. Think about it. Just think about one product that you know how to supply qualitatively. One product that you can supply qualitatively, okay? Think about it and just, I give you 10 seconds to do that. Okay, my 10 seconds is over. What are the problems? What are the needs and wants? What are the challenges that you can supply qualitatively, more qualitatively than all the people who are already doing that in the marketplace? Is it coaching? Is it teaching? Is it trading? Is it in the area of production? Is it in the production of the raw materials? Is it in the production or in the processing of the raw materials? Is it in distribution and logistics? Is it in packaging and branding? Is it in the areas of consulting and, research? Is it in the area of education and training? Is it in the areas of standardization and regulation? What is it that you can do more qualitatively than those who are already doing it? Think about it while we go ahead. We're going to come back to that. And hopefully, when we try to actually see these things from a more practical perspective. So the first thing you should know in understanding business opportunity identification is that you need to identify the challenges and the problems, the needs and the wants that you can supply quantitatively. In other words, where do you have enough people that can make you rich when you supply that? Now, there are some things you will supply and you have just few people that can buy that. And probably they're not going to buy it very costly. So if it was to be like a private jet and there are not too many people riding that and you can sell 5, 10 a year, you can be happy. But if it's something that you don't have too much people on and it's not as if it's the premium thing, hey, it is not the right thing that you go into. So you need quantity, you need population to actually do something, okay? But population who have the capacity to buy. Population who have the capacity to buy, okay? So it's very important. I always joke about it, but I mean it, that if you are not a Chinese and you are not an Indian, pray that you are a Nigerian, okay? Because we have the numbers. You're going to ask me, what of the United States with about 300 million people? But I tell you, pray that you are a Nigerian. If you're not a Chinese and you're not an Indian, because population is very important in whatever we do. Okay, but that's on the lighter mode. You understand what I mean? Quantitative or quantitatively, supplying quantitatively is very important. If you are a barber, if you can give haircuts and you can give haircut to as many people as you can, and then you replicate that by having other barbers in your shop who can give haircut to about 20 people, you can give to 20, 30 people, they can give to 20, 30 people, and then you have about 20 of them. So you're going to do 20 times 20. That is 400, okay? 400 times, maybe you take 500 naira from them. That is about 200,000 every day. 200,000 every day times, maybe you come to work about 20 days. Help me calculate. So 200,000 times 20 will give you about, I think, 4 million, okay? Now, if you are able to do all your expenses with 2 million, settle all of your staff members with 2 million, that means you are going home with 2 million every month. 2 million times 12 is about 24 million, and that is from the hair business alone. This money you got, you can put into real estate, you can put it into other things to multiply it. Yeah. Now the point becomes that if you have enough people, even if you are selling granules, even if you are selling tom or chewing gum, whatever you are selling, and you have enough people that can buy from you, you can become rich. You can become rich. Remember, companies that are selling sweets, that are selling biscuits, though the prices are not too much, but they are still multi-billion naira companies, if not multi-billion dollars companies, because there are so many people they can sell to. Remember our own Dangote. Most of his products do not cost more than 5,000, but he has frequency, sell it to a lot of people, and because of that, he's making enough money to be the richest man in Africa. So let's go to components of business opportunity scanning and identification intelligence, part 3, okay? Part 3. Now, that is business opportunity implementation. Business opportunity implementation. Now, it's very important to understand that if you know everything and you cannot implement them, you've not done any job, or you know them in your head and you can't implement them, you've not done any job, no work done. So now that you've already understood how to scan the environment and get ideas, you've already understood how to identify the ideas you should pursue. It's very important that you understand business opportunity implementation. Okay, so let's move on. Now, when you have identified an idea, you need to research your identified idea further and test it at a small scale to detect the loopholes in the idea. You need to research your identified idea further and test it at a small scale to detect the loopholes in the idea. Also, you need to prepare for the launch of the idea by putting together the key resources, the information and communication technology resources, the human resources, and the material resources, and even the mindset resources that you need to be able to launch this idea. Remember, every time you have an idea and you bring them out, there are counter ideas out there that will try to destroy your own ideas. But that is how humans develop. In the dialectics, Hegel, the philosopher, helps us to understand that human history improves and human civilization improves when you have thesis, which is a status quo, and the thesis over time is confronted by antithesis. Both of them will fight and there will be confusion. The thesis and the antithesis will fight and there will be confusion. What happens? Over time, they resolve themselves in what he calls synthesis. They resolve themselves, the thesis and the antithesis, they resolve themselves in what he calls synthesis. And this synthesis, in turn, becomes what? A thesis. And this thesis, which was formerly a synthesis, this thesis become what? Is confronted by an antithesis. Both of them, the thesis and the antithesis, they will fight and there will be confusion and there will be disequilibrium, and they are resolved and become a synthesis, which is a solution. And this synthesis in turn becomes become a thesis. And this thesis is confronted by what? Antithesis. And the antithesis and the thesis, they fight and they are resolved in synthesis. And this synthesis in turn becomes a thesis. So the point becomes that whenever you have an idea, over time, there will be a counter idea that they will fight, and when they are resolved, they become a new thing. So prepare for the launch of the idea by putting together the key resources, by putting together the IT, the human, and the material resources. Okay? When you are able to do that, what happens? Now, launch your idea. Ideas should have bad days. Ideas should have birthdays, okay? It's very important that your idea has a birthday. Very, very important that your idea has a birthday. Now, when we talk about a birthday, the importance is when you say this idea was given birth to on the 15th of April, on the 1st of October, on the 29th of May, on the 14th of February, on the, It doesn't have to be a special day, but let it be a day you can mark and say, I gave this idea birth on so and so day, so that you are able, I repeat, so that you are able to celebrate the birthday of this product, this idea. As such, it will help you to know whether this idea is growing or whether it's dwarfed. Because after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and the idea is still a baby, there is something wrong with both the mother of the idea and the idea itself. So your ideas should have bad days, okay? Now, when you see now open, it doesn't mean go and rest. It means work. A lot of people, immediately they are able to birth their idea, they will do what? They will go and start resting. And that is wrong, typically wrong. When you birth your idea, you shouldn't go to rest. What should you do? You should be able to know this is the time to feed this idea. This is the time to feed this idea so that this idea can grow. Now think about it. I give you just 3 minutes or 3 seconds to think about it. What are some of the ways you can feed your idea? Okay, it has gone up to even 10 seconds. There are ways you can feed your idea, because if you don't feed your ideas will not grow to the maximum level. It will not grow to optimum. Your idea may still be alive, but the children or her mates or his mates would have been giants while this idea is still feeding. Why this idea is still feeding on feeding bottle. Why this idea still needs your attention every day, because the idea is not growing. Like a child that is not growing, the idea is still using diaper. The idea is still using feeding bottle. Yeah, I'm trying to bring imageries here so you can ask yourself, this business I started 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, can I call this business an adult? This is not a time to patronize yourself. Think deep. Yeah, you've been patronizing yourself for a long time and your situation has not changed. So it's high time you told yourself the truth. Okay, so let's look at truism number 4. Guess what you think it is? I give you a second to do that. What do you think truism number 4 is? And I help you. A baby does not always naturally grow to destined size. The baby needs care to grow and avoid disability. So a baby, you just give birth to a baby and the baby starts growing normally and the baby becomes big and becomes better and all this. No, it doesn't happen. You need to actually feed this baby. You need to work with this baby. You need to, strengthen this baby. You need to help this baby. You need to teach this baby. You need to work with this baby so that the baby gets better, the baby keeps growing. Okay. Now, if you've got that, let's look at components of business opportunity scanning and identification intelligence number 4. Let's look at number 4 of components of business opportunity scanning and identification intelligence. Let's look at it right away. Now, number 4 is business opportunity maximization. I hope you suspected that. Business opportunity maximization. Okay? Now, let's look at it. Ideas like babies need proper nutrition to grow to the right and proper size where they can maintain, where they can mature and liberate the owner. Where they can mature and liberate the owner. In other words, if you don't give your idea baby the needed proper nutrition, your idea baby will not grow to the right and proper size. Your idea baby will not mature and the owner will keep taking care of the idea baby forever. So it's very pertinent that we talk about a very important aspect of entrepreneurship, which a lot of people don't always understand. Now, I'm not going to write it down, but I'm going to say it. You can write it down into your notes. There are 5 phases of entrepreneurship. There are 5 phases of entrepreneurship. Number 1 is idea generation. Idea generation is the ability to intuit into vivid consciousness a molecule of thoughts, an atom of thoughts, a nucleus, a neutron of thought in your mind. Ability to bring it out and make it concrete is what we call idea generation. Because ideas are simple thoughts in your mind that when you nurture them, they can become solutions to a lot of problems, tangible problems, or intangible problems in the society. So that is the first phase of idea generation. Of the first phase of entrepreneurship, that is idea generation. The second phase of entrepreneurship is idea research. When you take this idea and you go to the marketplace to check, you do your surveys, you do your feasibility studies, you try to put out questionnaires there, you do mystery shopping, you check things out, you go to your competitors, you question them, you Google those ideas. That is researching. You go to National Population Commission, you go to INEC, you go to find out the population of people living there. You use your Facebook to check the number of people you can advertise to in those areas. All these are what we call what? Idea research. So when you research this idea, what happens next? You go to the third phase of entrepreneurship, which is idea launch. You launch this idea, now you write on the door, now open. You launch this idea, people start asking for it, people start, walking in to check the idea or checking online to actually ask for the idea. People are now willing to pay. It doesn't stop here. You go to the fourth stage, the fourth phase of that, which is more like business opportunity maximization. We call it fourth phase of entrepreneurship is what we call idea growth. At this point, knowledge will drive what you are doing, okay? Knowledge will drive what you are doing at this point. So what's the point? The point is that you must be a person of knowledge. You must understand systems. SYSTEM. SYSTEM. System stands for save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. S, save. Y, yourself. S, stress. T, time. E, energy. M, money. So putting a system in place is anything you put in place, any kind of platform, any kind of process you put into the business so that it can save you stress, it can save you time, it can save you energy, it can save you money. At this point, your human resources must be intact. At this point, your marketing must be intact, your sales must be intact, the production must be intact, your customer service, reception, and everything, your admin, accountant, admin, they must be intact. You must understand your business development, how to move this business forward. You must understand your sales funnel. All those must be intact if you are going to do well in your business. So knowledge is key here. Yes, that is business opportunity maximization. That's where your business will grow your business. And then the fifth one, before I go back to the fourth one, which is the one that's on stage, the fifth one is what we call, the fifth phase of entrepreneurship is idea immortalizing. Remember, we talked about phase number one, idea generation, phase number 2, idea research, phase number 3, idea launch, phase number 4, idea growth, phase number 5, idea immortalizing. At this point, your business had taken a life of its own. It has gone to the stock market. The corporate governance is super. The shareholders are there. The board members are there. The business is serious with everything regulation. The brand is so well sunk into the mind of people that they already know that this is no more related to a person. They can identify the idea, the brand, as something breathing on its own, something living on its own, something that has a life of its own, not just in recognition, in relation to the owner. It may have the name of the owner, Dangote, but it must have grown to the level where you don't just think of the owner, you think of the brand. That is what we call idea immortalizing. Remember, there are lots of brands you know today, HP, brands like even Dangote, though he's still alive, brands like Michelin, Julius Berger, all those guys, you see, Toyota, they are human beings. They built these companies to a level where this company, Mercedes, became like they're alive on their own. They've been immortalized. They seem that they won't die anymore because every process is in place. That is idea immortalizing. Now, I give you 10 seconds to think about it. At what phase is your own idea? At what phase is your own idea? Think about it. Yeah? We'll talk about it in the next 4 seconds. I hope you are able to tell me now which phase your idea is in. You are going to tell me right now which phase is your idea in. Okay? So let's go ahead with business opportunity maximization, which is the fourth component of business opportunity scanning identification intelligence. I do hope you got when I did that digression just for the purposes of talking to you about business phases of entrepreneurship. When I talk to you about phases of entrepreneurship. So now in business opportunity maximization, we talked about the fact that ideas are like babies and need proper nutrition to grow to the right and proper size where they can mature and liberate the owner. And we agree that the amount of the nutrition this baby gets is directly proportional to the knowledge of the people taking care of the baby. And yeah, so pellucid, so lucid. You can already see that. If the people are feeding the baby with carbohydrates in such a way that there's no vitamin, no fat and oil, the baby may have strength, but the baby may not grow. So you need to give fat and oil, all the minerals. You need to give vitamins. You need to give carbohydrates. You need to give all the nutrients that are needed to make this child grow. So in your business, and in growing your business, and in growing your idea, knowledge is key. You must understand personal competencies. You must understand interpersonal competencies. You must understand business competencies. In personal competencies, you must understand how to wake up early. I've always said it, if you wake up 5 a.m. and your friends wake up 7 a.m., you've given them 2 hours, depending on when you go to bed on the same day. But if you give them consistently 2 hours and you times it by 365, removing all the days you may have issues waking up early, you're going to have at least 700 hours. And when you have 700 hours, in a year, you will be able to actually have about 29 days, which is almost 1 month of additional work than your friends. So you are having about 13 months in 12 months when you compare with your friends, because you have to save 2 hours every day and you become better. So it's very pertinent to point out that personal competencies are things you must know. Waking up early, how not to be lazy, how to be productive, how to take a task and finish it, how to set goals and accomplish them, how to go from setting goals to scoring goals, and all those. You must understand that. Then interpersonal competencies. You must understand how to move from just you to understanding how to accommodate others. Emotional intelligence is very important here. Understanding networking is very important. Knowing key partners to network with is very important. Knowing how to make people smile, knowing how to be friendly with people is very important. Your ability to understand all this will help a lot and go a long way to improving your business and feeding this baby right. But you must understand business competencies, because there is nothing that can, make up for understanding business competencies. At this point, there are things you must know. You must understand business finance. So you must know the basics of finance. You must understand your startup costs. You must understand your variable costs. You must understand your fixed costs. You must understand break-even points, your break-even point. You must understand your break-even ratio. You must understand your break-even quantity. You must also understand cash flow. You must understand profits or loss, or profit and loss, whatever you want to, recently they say is profit or loss. Okay, so you must understand all those simple things and the application. You must understand how to read your income statement, balance sheets. You must understand all those very simple things that you must know in your business. You must understand management. Okay, this is not properly on this, so I don't need to overflog it. You must understand strategy. You must understand marketing. Yeah, there's a course called proactive marketing that we're going to do on Wednesday. So if you are going to listen to this as a course later, try to look for that program, proactive marketing with Dr. Carly Cousins, and then listen to that. Try to buy it and listen to. Now, okay, that is not for the people who are live in this class. Okay, on Wednesday, or rather on Thursday, you're going to have the class. Now you have information technology for business and all those. Now, designing a website is no more something you want somebody to come and beg you to learn. Designing a website is the simplest thing you should know. Understanding how to take your business online is the simplest thing you know. We have a course on taking your business online, okay? If you're going to listen to this program as a training letter, as a course letter, or you are in class already, try to look for the course, TYBO, Take Your Business Online with Dr. Carly Cousins, okay? And you're going to, marvel yourself on all the number of people that you can sell to online and how you can bring them into the net and do good to them. Yeah, when we talk about goods, we're talking about good in plural. That's what we say. Oh, she bought my goods, he bought my goods, and all this. So you shouldn't be afraid to tell people about your goods, because you are doing good and that's what you are selling. So you must understand information technology for business, how to advertise on Facebook and social media. I'm not talking about posting, I'm talking about doing paid ad so that your conversion can be high. Above all, so you don't spend so much before you convert one person. You must understand this and so much more. Talking about business opportunity maximization. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are through with lesson 1. Let's go over to lesson 2.